This video is all about this fly, the Buckfast Special, aka the Bucky Special. Now this fly's got a bit of a story behind it. Firstly, the video is for kids in Chile to copy. So hola kids. Allexx got in touch with me, who teaches the kids to fly fish and fly tie in Chile, where he's from. So he asked if I could do a step-by-step, and we chose the Bucky Special because the colours are fantastic for Chinook. Not that I'll ever find out, obviously, but I've tied loads of them. And chartreuse, greens, blues seem to be a good colour combination. So the fly actually came from Gary in England, the north of England on the River Eden. He sent me a picture of an old fly, which was green, blue, black. I think there was a bit of yellow in it too. And it's sort of evolved into a samurai over the past year or so. It turns out I do a Templedog version, and I will be doing that after this video for the kids in Chile, so I'll post that too. The original inventor was actually called Temple, believe it or not. Thought that was a cool wee connection. But it just shows you how fishing can unite everyone, really. It's such a unifier, because we've got kids in Chile tying flies from a guy in Scotland via a guy in England. I just thought it was a nice wee story. So I'll get on to the tying now. So we take our tubing here and cut about an inch off, or 3 centimetres, and we cut that at an angle up the way, if you can see there. And then we take our inner tubing, which is 1.8 millimetres, burr the end a little, just let that dry. That should be it. Then pull it through, so you've got roughly 10 millimetres or a centimetre gap at the end here. So that's about right. And then just snip the end off. That flies across the room beautifully. Then we're going to start where the join is. We don't need glue or anything. And this is why we use heavy thread, because you can really wind on tightly. And that is as far, the join here is as far as we're going to tie, so that's the end of the fly. And that'll hold the tubing together perfectly well without glue. Glue can stiffen the fly up, and it's not very nice to work with. So first material is our Mirage tinsel. Just grab a length of that. We want to tie this in and leave where the inner tubing ends. The 10 mil there, we want about 4 mil here, 4 millimetres. It's not an exact science, this is just a hot spot. You could have it bigger if you wanted, or smaller, or not at all. It's up to you. So snip that off. Then we need some pearl braid. This is it's got a really nice shine to it. This is just for the butt section, just watch that. And we want to take this up to about halfway. Whoops. That's not on there tight enough. It's usually 4 or 5 turns for a big fly. So that'll do there. Get that tied off. This is a messy fly. Just get that anchored in. Then we want some of our green glitz dubbing. And we're going to go over it. We're going to make a ball here. And the ball does 2 things. Once we brush all this out, it creates a lot of movement because the flash is so soft. And a lot of attraction, obviously. And it also holds the wing up to keep it swimming. So there we go. The first wing is blue fox. Just a little slither of this, a wee tiny bit. Take the fluff out the bottom, there's always underfur. And we just want this past the end of the tube here. Yeah, that's fine. Just make sure it's centred on the top and then spread it out a little. Then just a little UV flash, if I can find it. Here it is. That's far too much. That'll do. About 6 strands, say. We're going to double this over. This just adds a little glint underneath. It's really hard to tie with this camera in front of me. And then trim that just slightly longer than the wing, the first wing. Then the second material is green. This comes from Mad Flies in Sweden. So again, just take the underfur out. Keep that for dubbing. It goes in a pot for dubbing with all my flash offcuts. And then we want this, it's a 10 centimetre fly, so I want this about twice the length of the blue. So just do a couple of wraps and then get it all spread out. You want to kind of cover the blue almost. It all creates translucency in the water. And get it well tied down. So get rid of that and that. And then some, it's Froden dubbing, it's got different strands through it. This one's Green Highlander, I think, I'm not entirely sure. So just get that tied in the middle. And we want this one the full length of the wing really, so about there. I'm just going to tidy this up. Smashing. And then finally just a thin little strip of black. And this takes us up to our 10 centimetres. So 10 centimetres is, I'll just prepare that first. 10 centimetres is there, so I know that is on my vise. So just pinch it between your fingers and then do a loose wrap over the top. And then a couple of wraps. Just quite loose, and then you can spread the material. Spreading it means there's less, you don't have a big step, and it also improves the profile of the fly, so it's more teardrop, which seems to be irresistible to fish sometimes. And get rid of that. Then back to the dubbing, the Green Highlander or whatever it is. There's got to be a long stranded dubbing for this, because it's going to get brushed out in a second. So keep it fairly tight, not too loose. And then just watch as you go forward, because we've still a hackle to go on here. So I'll just create a little space for that. I'm just putting a thread, a base of thread down for the hackle to sit on. Then we take our dubbing brush, which I have lost. Here it is in front of me. And we want to brush this out. And that's why we need the long stranded dubbing. For that very reason there, that you can pull it all out. Everything's really well tied in, so don't be scared. And then get some of it into the wing. This is what gives it the glow in the water. Last thing is, second last thing, we need a hen hackle, and take it from the very top of the cape here, where you wouldn't normally take them from, and a little fluff. I love marabou and flies, it's cracking stuff. So if you can get a little fluff in there, all the better, because it's behind a disc. So just get that. Tie your feather on, double it back, so fold all the feathers backwards. And then get the feather on there. It's not a subtle fly, so you can really put the whole feather on if you like. I'm going to try and do that. That's the game. And then just be careful. We don't have much room for the cone. So there's 5 turns just to hold it. Get this out the road, and then to finish I'm going ever so slightly back and creating a little just a little thread base for the cone to sit over. Then we take our super glue. This is water thin super glue that goes everywhere when you spill it. Take your dubbing needle or something and just dab that on the front of the thread. You don't need much. Try not to touch the feathers. And finally, the last thing, you can just snip this off. The glue will soak in and hold that. Then we want our cone, which is a 6mm tungsten cone. And just slide that on to the tubing. These can be a bit fiddly sometimes. This one is, because the hole diameters are ever so slightly out. Not to worry, there she goes. So pull all this back and squeeze the cone on there. And just hold it for a sec. Fiddle about with it. Then off. Then just trim the tubing about 3mm. Again, that'll ping across the room. People will be upset. Take your lighter and just burn very gently. And there we have it. That is how you tie a Bucky Special Samurai. Last thing to do is the hairdryer.